Well, we've got us kind of a problem. Our hinge is all broke on our grain cart. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Now, we're gonna fix it out here in the fields, what we're gonna do. So let's get started. Well, I don't have a ladder with me, but I've got an 8-row scaffolding, so that's what we're gonna use. I can stand right down in here, be able to get to this to weld it up. Now, it's not going to be a perfect fix, but it's going to get us through the rest of the day. I'm just going to do a little bit of a bush fix on it until we can get it back to the shop and do a proper fix on it. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to grind that out. All I got is a cordless grinder with a cutoff wheel. We'll see what we can do with it. Let's start welding it up, see what we end up with. Got some contamination in that weld, I don't like it. been stick welding. Been a little while. Strength to do that. It's not gonna be perfect, but it'll work. Well, before we put everything away, George is going to go ahead and fold it and see what it does, or unfold it. Did what I could with it. So far, so good. I want to wait a second till them welds cool off. I didn't realize them hoses stretch so tight across that hot spot. Didn't even think about that. We'll give it another try here. Things are cooled off now. There we go. Let me look at it real quick. Looks good to me. I think it'll be all right. I think. Well, I don't think it's all the way out yet. I don't think it's all the way out. Out. There it goes. All right, it's good. Sealed up tight. Yep, I like it. Go back to picking corn. Well, I got George back going again in the grain cart. Everything looks good. He went and dumped it. So we're good to go for now. So what we're going to do is we'll just leave the auger out. I hate to do that, but we'll leave it out to finish up this farm, and then the next 3 that we have down here, we'll fold it to go down the road, of course, but we'll keep the folding and unfolding to a minimum until we get it back to the shop. Then once it's back to the shop, we'll pull that auger off. There's a few other cracks that need to be taken care of. Nothing that's going to allow it to fall off or anything, but stuff that needs to be addressed. You know, there's a lot of stress on grain cart augers. You know, they're going through the field, getting folded and unfolded. It's nothing I haven't seen before. It just happens. It's a high fatigue area on a cart. It's something you want to look at when you're buying a cart. They're not hard to fix. It's just time consuming to do it. Luckily, it didn't twist or anything and fall off and rip the rest of the hinges off and the cylinder. Sometimes it can get very ugly. And in this case, George was on the ball and caught it before it went south real quick. So that's fixed. Over the weekend, I discovered that my drainage field or leach field at my house for my septic system is failing. So I had my buddy Dave Collins from Collins Septic Service come today and pump the tank for me. He took care of everything while we were picking corn. Really appreciate that, Dave. Thank you. If you're in northern Indiana and you need a septic service, get a hold of Dave Collins at Collins Septic Service. Real great guy to work with. He took care of me good. So that'll be a video coming up sometime. We'll have to do a new drainage field. So we'll see what happens with that. We've done them in the past, done quite a few of them actually. They're not hard to do. It's just some stone and some pipe and get your grade right. I had to shut the camera off because Drew Swanson, my John Deere salesman from Castonia Tractor, called me. And Drew is the one that sold me this combine and several other pieces of equipment. I don't know, he's got the gift of selling because he sure gets me every time. But he wanted to tell me that my viewer Craig called him and said, "Hey, you're famous. You're famous again on YouTube for selling Brandon a combine." I thought that was funny. But I really appreciate everybody that watches the channel. Thank you, Craig, for watching. I appreciate it. It's just funny that the way YouTube works. I mean, I guess you just don't really know who's watching. So if you need a piece of John Deere farm equipment here in northern Indiana, I mean, we got a lot of good guys here. We got a septic service, we got John Deere salesman. I mean, if you need it, we got it here in northern Indiana, northwest Indiana, wherever we're at in Indiana. Well, a lot of people ask me where I'm from Indiana. Dirt Perfect thought I was from Canada. Thought I had a Canadian accent. Like, no, I'm from Indiana. Just a little farther north than you are. Good old Stark County, Indiana. Well, right now I'm not in Stark County. Over in, what the hell county is this? White County, I think? I'd have to look. I'd have to ask Dad. I'm not sure. Whatever Francisville and Maderryville is. We're on the big Francisville Prairie, as the old-timers call it. You can watch your dog run away for 8 or 9 miles out here. It's so flat. As long as there's no crops growing, of course. It's pretty flat. It's amazing how Indiana can change quickly in terrain. You go here in Francisville, it's flat. You travel over to Logansport, which is, what, 40 minutes from here, and it's just like hills and hollers and everything else. You go in our area, you go from sand hills to muck holes. You go from not growing anything on a sand hill to within 100 feet growing 200 bushel corn in a muck hole and spinning through it, getting stuck in it and everything else. I know when Zach bought his 690B down there in Logansport, I wasn't even thinking about it. But I said, well, it shouldn't be too hard to go get it. Well, he got there, and of course, there was no backing in this guy's driveway to load it. We had to load it on the side of the road because that was the only level spot. You come in off the highway there, and it went down into this guy's property where his house was and stuff. And then you go even farther down, there's another like 30-foot drop, and that's where the old 690 was sitting. I said, I ain't getting a semi down here, there's no way. I mean, it was just too steep of an incline. It was a nice gravel driveway, but I just wasn't going to attempt it. So that's why we walked it out to the road, and I loaded it on the side of the road. It didn't even occur to me when he said Logansport to expect the hills and hollers. And then it dawned on me on the way down there. I'm like, oh boy, we're in for a little adventure here. You got to be careful on a lot of their crossroads because sometimes their crossroads end up on like little hills, and you go over those with the lowboy, and the lowboy ends up bottoming out. So that's something else you got to watch for around that area. Or they'll have really strange intersections where the crossroads at like a 45 to the other road, and you gotta try to turn that, be into your turn, and the lowboy ends up bottoming out. You gotta kind of plan your route when you go to that part of Indiana to haul equipment, I've found. So we got Cousin Matt's 2 trucks running today. That's definitely gonna help us. You seen those in the last video. Got his Peterbilt and his Kenworth. The only thing we don't have today is a Roush truck. If the weather stays fit, we'll get the Roush trucks back too. See if I can get my buddy John. He works for Roush's. We got Matt last time, Matt Zimmerman. Maybe we can get John this next time. John's the same guy that you see at Plow Day that's got the brand new front wheel assist Case IH tractor with loader on it. He plows with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I said whatever will pull a plow you can bring. So that's what he brings. It's pretty cool to see it plowing. Because it's like, I can't remember how many horse it is. Is it like 120 maybe? Maybe it's not that big. But it's cool because it's this little front wheel assist tractor with a plow behind it. I mean, it's a healthy tractor, don't get me wrong. It's good size, but it's just, in today's standards of front wheel assist tractors doing field work, it's small. Alright, let's keep picking and see what we can get accomplished. I don't know if you can see it, but this row right here, there's a big buck. See him? He's looking at us right now. He's looking back. He's over here now. I think he's kind of older. He's got a white face. He's heading out in the middle of the field now. I didn't get a chance to count how many point he was. Had a good sized rack on him though. So we're breaking in the last field. It's down here in Francisville, and then we'll be moving back to back closer to Madeiryville. We've got an 80 there, and then we've got I think there's 50 something there behind the elevator that we got to pick off. And then we'll be able to head back to Tyler's dad and uncle's. Well, we might skip that for now. I don't know, that's fine. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to pick it off on the way home or leave it till dead last. Maybe try to get a little better price on it. I don't know yet. Something I got to think about. Well, everything's went pretty good this afternoon. We got 6 loads in with Matt's trucks. We got our truck sitting here with 3 loads. Well, 3 loads total, so we've actually shelved quite a bit of corn this afternoon. Had a little hiccup there with the grain cart, no big deal. So what I'm going to do with that is, when we get back to shop, we'll take that auger completely off, get it down on the shop floor, and weld up what needs welded up, fix the cracks and things like that. I need to get me a regular corded grinder to carry in my truck. And also I need to get a new thing of 7018 welding rod. That 7018's been in there for quite a while and got a lot of moisture in that box over the summer. It actually, that was the box lid that I had ripped off, or a door that I had ripped off on that side box, and it leaked a little water this summer because apparently I didn't get it completely straight when I fixed it. And I had water in it over the summer, and I think that rod drew a little bit of moisture. So that rod just acted kind of funny. So I'm going to get some new rod. I think I'm going to start carrying the rod and stuff inside the cab of the truck. I need to get those regular thread-on rod holder canisters that have the thread-on lid with the seal. I need to get those. I need to order some. I just keep forgetting. I like the boxes that Hobart puts their rods in. They work real nice, and they don't take up a lot of space, and you can stack them because they're, rectangular. But I don't think they quite seal as tight and are moisture proof as the thread-on rod holders. So I need to do that. I feel like I was a little bit rusty stick welding, but at the same time, I was trying to balance on a slick poly row divider on the end of a corn head and trying to reach up, and my helmet kept fogging up inside because of the moist air, and it was just one of them scenarios where everything was against me to get a good weld. But hey, obviously I must have got a pretty good weld because the auger's still hanging on the cart. So I am by no means a professional welder. I am a good welder, I feel, but I don't know if I'm a professional like a pipeline welder or anything like that. Never really went to schooling. My dad at one time was a certified welder, and he actually went to welding school, and I learned from him. So But as far as that goes, I am not certified myself. But I have welded on quite a few thumbs on excavators, and not a one of them has peeled off yet. So, all right, I'm going to top George off, and then that's going to be it for the night, because then I will be empty, and we'll have all the grain under tarp that needs to be tarped. So thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one.